When I think of Charlie Kirk, I don't just think of a leader. I think of the last boss that I had before launching this mission. I'd already been in the middle of this, working in coaching and all those things. And I was served divorce papers, as I said before, in the Turning Point USA headquarters parking lot. Charlie did not let men off the hook. If you're a divorced dad, his words are not optional. They're a challenge. And today, man, I'm going to unpack the legacy he demanded that we build. I'm going to give you through the lens of the things that I learned in that season of being there. And I'm going to distill it for you as a divorced dad through that lens. And I remember the guy calling me up saying, hey, I have these papers that you need to sign. And I just said, hey, dude, can you not come into this building? Can I meet you outside? And he was like, I can't. I can do that. And I was just gracious. I was grateful because I was the lowest moment of my life. I was so grateful just to have a job at that time. I was so grateful to just have cash flow. And I know I talked to a lot of you guys about that, but I remember that man handed me those papers, and I grabbed those papers, and I had to take a minute to sit in that parking lot. And I had to look at my life and say, what the heck is going on? I got 3 babies. I'm driving an hour to work. This is not what I planned for my life. But I want to give you some words today. Words that I heard from Charlie. Words that I heard as I was working inside there. As I watched things that went around. As I watched all of the hundreds of people that worked there. As I traveled to the events around the country. As I listened to the words of people. I want to give you what these words mean to dads. To divorced dads. When you're in that blender and you're in that scenario. I want to give you a couple quotes, and I'm going to give you something at the end that you can take away right now today, and you can use and you can do. And it's the things that I would have given myself in that season, because in that season, the only thing that I could do was just be grateful that I had a place to work and be grateful that I had a couple people around to talk to. And I had mentors and coaches in that season as well that were picking me up off the ground, off the canvas, that I had this inner belief that things are going to work out for good. And I wanted to share that with you, that yes, they can work out for good. Yes, you can create this plan, but it starts with some of these hard words. Now, I remember hearing them from Charlie, and they sound like this. Weak men create hard times. Divorce is the ultimate test, and your kids need you to stand strong now more than ever. Divorce is such a breaking point. It creates so much weakness and belief and lack of belief, lack of self-worth, lack of confidence, lack of believing in the future. How did this happen to me? I didn't see it coming. But you have to know that that's just that season. That's just that moment. It doesn't mean you can't learn from it. It doesn't mean you can't grow from it. It doesn't mean you can't do something about it. Weak men create hard times. Second thing that I heard and was reminded from Charlie is that it's a blessing to be a dad. Dads, stop treating fatherhood like a loss and start treating it like the greatest legacy you'll ever leave. And I know that many of you know that it is a blessing. I'm not saying that you don't know that, but I'm imploring of you to believe that it's a blessing, to believe and know that your words, your actions are impacting the next generation. You can control that. Nobody else. Not the courts, not your ex. There's a lot of excuses and blame. Even if you don't have the time that you want with your children, it is a blessing. Every moment. Life is a vapor. Every moment. Dads, what are you doing today? What are you setting yourself up for? How are you preparing? How are you creating your life so that it is a blessing for your kids? The third truth that really stuck with me and hit me from Charlie is that truth is costly, but it's worth it. Truth is costly, but it's worth it. Face your own lies, your own avoidance. Truth builds trust with God, with your kids, and with yourself. Truth. Scripture says it's the truth you know that sets you free. And if you unpack that verse even more, it's the truth you know and you do is what sets you free. Many of you know the truth that you need to do. And it's that lack of doing that's creating that prison in your life. You want a palace. You want freedom, but you're living in fear. You're living in failure. You're living in frustration. And it's about syncing those things and closing the gap. And truth is what does that. That's why when I share these things with you, they're hard truth. They're savage truths, I'll say sometimes, because it's the truth that is going to set you free. I'll give you a couple of things before I go, and I'll give you this mini framework that you can leave, that you can take with you and save it and share it and do it. When your kids look back, I want to ask you this question. When your kids look back, will they see a man who folded or a man who forged a new legacy? If you took a step back and you said, hey, what did my dad do? Maybe you didn't have a dad, or maybe you did. But you can become the dad that you never had. You can become the greatest dad ever. And many times that pain of the past, that pain of what your dad didn't do, is actually the ingredients you need to become the greatest dad of all time. And you know that. Many of you are doing that. Many of you are in line for that. But I believe that there's much more for that for you. I believe that your kids are going to see a man who forged the future. This is a wake-up call. With Charlie's life and his death, it is a reminder life is a vapor. It's a reminder that not every day is guaranteed. Tomorrow's not guaranteed. What you do today matters. What you say matters. What you set up for your kids matter. I believe that in Psalms 127, 3 and 4, a reminder is this, that children are a heritage from the Lord. Your legacy isn't optional. It's eternal. Being a dad now, it's here. It's now. This is what you're responsible for. This is what the assignment that you have. And are you burying your assignment in the ground, or are you maximizing your assignment as a dad? In leadership, in courage, in truth, are you maximizing that? Can you look at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm maximizing that? Everything that I say, I do. Everything that I set my heart on, all my vision, all my mission, that's what we're working towards. So let me give you this quick coaching framework that I work with all these guys. And I want you to think about the future. I want you to think about your legacy as I give you these. It's the FAST system. If you watch some of the videos, you've heard it, or you've heard it before, but I want to remind you. The F is for focus and faith. What are you focusing on? Where your focus goes, your energy flows. Most of you focus on the past and your failures, your lack of confidence, your lack of belief, your lack of, I'm never going to see my kids again. Instead of focusing on what you do have, you have time, you have energy, you have your health, you have the ability to dream, you have a vision you can create. You do have those moments with your kids. Are you maximizing them? Where's your faith? Where's the Lord in this thing? Is he on the backside? Is he a hotline? Or is he your main focus? I beg of you to look at that focus. Is he the Lord of your life? Right? The greatest commandment is love the Lord with all your heart, your soul, your mind, and strength. Is it all? Or is it just some? If you were to take your time out of your day and said, is it all? Or does the Lord just have some? Is it all, or is it some? The A is for accountability and awareness. Your awareness of the situation is one thing. Your accountability to do what you need to do is a completely different thing. 99% of guys fail because they don't have accountability in their life for what they're doing. And they just keep doing the same things. They don't do the work. They don't do the worksheet. Even guys in the group coaching, they don't do the worksheet. They don't do the things I ask them to do. And guess what? They get the same results. Their life isn't transformed. I believe you're different. I believe that this is a call and an assignment for you to do something different for your life and for your kids' lives. Show them, don't tell them. The S is for strategies and systems. You need a strategy, you need a system to where you want to go. You'll never get there just by motivation. Motivation's like milk. There's an expiry date, right? Habits are going to take you there when motivation runs out. And lastly is transformation. What does transformation look like? Specifically, happiness is not transformation. Having more money is not transformation. Having a easier life is not transformation. In fact, your life will get harder through transformation. The question is, what is it that you want? And are you willing to do what it takes to get there for you and for your children? Write these things down. Here's it. Your legacy statement, 1 to 2 sentences. What is your legacy? What do you want your legacy to be? Write it down. Make it plain. Make it specific. Understand what it is. Speak it over your kids and act on it
daily. Look, 2 things you could do. If you're convicted, if this resonates, if this hits, drop me a comment. Say, hey, this hit, Anthony, this resonates. I'm with you. I'm doing something. I'm taking action today. The other things you can do is get in the group coaching program and do something. Take all the worksheets, all the stuff that we've done with thousands of hours of dads that have gone through this stuff and transformed their life. 3, if you want to accelerate, you know that one-on-one is the way to go. You need accountability. You need a jetpack for your life. Apply to work with me. I'm happy to hear your story, hear what's more, and see if we can do something together. See if we can build this thing out and you get there faster than you ever gone before. I love you guys. I pray for you guys every day. Again, let me know what hits, what resonates with you. What are you going to take action on? God bless you. I'll see you on the next one.